Hey shooters, welcome back to the Shooters Resource Channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Daniel Defense DDM4. This is the V7 variant and it's just their standard offering. Now it MSRP's for around 17 or 1800 bucks, but I was able to get this firearm a lot cheaper, several $100s, and I'm sure that you can too. And I'm going to go ahead and let you know this gun is well worth the money. I was very pleased with it. But before we get into the review, go ahead and take a second. Hit that like and subscribe button, support the channel.
All right, let's get warmed up at about 7 yards.
Now this year marks 20 years that Daniel Defense has been in business. And I'm going to be honest, that's a big surprise to me. I really thought that they'd been in business a little longer than that. But it was only in 2009 when Marty Daniel introduced his first rifle, the DDM4. Now, since then, they've introduced several already classics. The MK12 or Mark 12, the Mark 18, the DD5, which is their AR-10 platform, as well as the Delta 5 bolt gun and the Delta 5 Pro, which just came out and over the last couple of years. And it's really blown the market away in terms of performance. Daniel Defense is known for creating high-quality firearms, and their company values are freedom, passion, and precision. And I've been very pleased with this gun, and I'm very happy to own it, especially since it's made in the USA.
All right, let's look at that grouping right there. Just a warm-up grouping, doing a couple different stationary drills at 7 yards. So you can see there, I kept most of them in the 0 zone for the body shots. The head shots, they're a little low. That's because I wasn't compensating for the difference in optic height versus barrel height. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with that group. I had a little bit of speed. Haven't been practicing as much with my AR as I should, but not too bad.
Now it comes with a 16-inch cold hammer forged chrome line 1-in-7 twist barrel, which kind of checks all of the boxes for most of the AR-15 wants when it comes to barrels. Daniel Defense improved the flash suppressor so that it hides flash even better than the traditional A2 flash hider. It also has a mid-length gas system, which is what I prefer on all my AR-15s. It makes it really soft shooting and very manageable in terms of recoil. It has a 15-inch M-lok rail, and I'm going to say this is a pretty solid rail system. I really like their four bolt design, and it has no play to it whatsoever. It also is very ambidextrous. To start with, it's got QD mounts on both sides of the stock. It's got one in the rear receiver, as well as several places on the handrail where you can attach this removable QD mount piece that you can kind of move around the stock. And it works out really well. This system is very beneficial to both left-hand and right-hand shooters, as well as being able to set the rifle up to run the sling however you'd like. And you really don't have to worry about switching from a 2-point style sling setup to a 1-point style sling with all of the QD options you have on the firearm.
All right, let's check out the accuracy on that. That was pretty sloppy, but let's see how we did. So it looks like on this target, we've got one out here. The other one's in the group, and our headshot was a little low. Got one down here, one headshot that was out. So not too bad. Looks like we have one right here in the 3 zone and one right there. Let's see if we can tighten that up a little bit.
To continue the ambidextrous theme, they've also got an Ambi Safety as well as their Ambi Grip and Rip charging handle, which is really nice, both of those features, but especially the charging handle straight from the factory. The weight of this rifle is really impressive too, at only 6.2 pounds, and they've got a lightweight version that even cuts it further. Now there are a few things what they did in terms of like polymer dust cover, but other than that, which I don't mind it one bit, they have not compromised at all on materials. Actually, the materials used in this rifle are better than what you find in a lot of other rifles.
All right, let's look at our targets. Looks like I kept everything in. I dropped, actually I didn't pace, so these two were already there. It looks like I only dropped one body shot. And then on this target, this is my second target, I just dropped one body shot and one headshot, so not too bad. Keeping them in there pretty good.
Now when it comes to ergonomics, Daniel Defense has done a great job. I've already touched on how ambidextrous the rifle is, but they've also done things like added a rubber overmolding to the stock grip and foregrip on the rifle. Oh, and did I mention the rifle comes with a foregrip, which saves you about $30 instead of having to go out and buy your own, which is really nice. But it's more than just having a little rubber where on the touch points of the rifle. The grip itself feels really nice and ergonomic in your hand. It's the shape and everything, the palm swell, everything feels great. And then the stock, not only is it unique to Daniel Defense and just very recognizable when you see it, it's very handsome, but it's also very solid. And it has very little wiggle side to side. You can just feel the quality as you make adjustments to your preferred length of pull. Now let's get to my favorite part, the performance of the rifle. Now I've only taken this rifle out to 100 yards, but I've been very impressed with it so far. And I promise you guys, I'll do a video where I remove the red dot off this gun. We'll put a real scope on there and we'll see how it does at distance. I have no doubt that it won't let me down.
All right, that felt a lot smoother. Let's see how we did on target. All right, looks like I did drop a couple still. Dropped one of my pistol headshots, but it's just outside. Other pistols are in. 3 out of 4 of my rifle shots got dropped, but they're pretty close. Dropped one pistol shot right there. And I dropped my headshot rifle. Well, no rifle shots on that target. And dropped just that pistol target, that pistol shot right there. My other pistol hit was right there. So, not too bad.
When it comes to speed, the trigger plays a big part on rifles, handguns as well. You know, the quality of the trigger plus the reset really helps make it easier to run a gun faster. Now, a lot of it also counts on skill, and, you know, I'm not the best, I'm not the worst, but, you know, a good trigger can definitely help smooth the edges for anybody. And I will say that the Daniel Defense has a decent trigger. It's very much so a mil-spec trigger. It's nothing that I was very impressed with. I have seen better triggers on other guns. All right, let's check out the trigger on this. Go ahead and remove that magazine. So as mentioned before, this is just a really kind of standard feeling mil-spec trigger. It might be a little bit lighter than some others that I've felt, but the reset, the reset. And everything about it is just very similar to a mil-spec. Just a regular mil-spec trigger. Now it is a one-stage trigger, meaning you're just pulling it straight back to the rear. And when you do that, you're probably getting somewhere in the neighborhood of about, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch of travel. And it's about the same on the reset. So if we go all the way from the beginning, and it's not smooth or anything. It's just kind of cruddy. I guess it moves about an eighth and you hit a wall. And then right behind that, just a little bit of travel and it breaks. And it feels to be somewhere around, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 6 pounds. But it's not horrible. It wasn't anything memorable, I'll tell you that. It wasn't so bad that I noticed it when I was shooting, but it definitely wasn't so good, or it wasn't good enough for me to take note and say, man, that's a really easy trigger to run the gun fast, or just a really great trigger for accuracy to pull back very easy and straight. I had no problem hitting my target. I had no problem running the gun at a decent speed, but it's not the best AR-15 trigger I've encountered. Replacing this with a Geisley would make this gun just amazing, and that's probably what I'll end up doing in the future. Now when it comes to reliability, Daniel Defense is known for having just a solid offering, great materials, and great processes that they put into the rifles. Even though this is a fairly new rifle to me, I have no doubt that this gun will be ultra reliable. But all in all, the gun shot and handled really well. I don't really know exactly what it is, whether it was the lightweight, whether it was the ergonomic aspects of the firearm, but it's become already one of my favorite AR-15s that I have, and I've got a few nice ones. Now, I didn't go all out on accessories with this gun. I like to keep my guns fairly simple, and especially since this gun's such a lightweight offering, I didn't want to put too much on it. So the first accessory to point out is one that came with the firearm. It's the 32-round magazine. I really like them. They've got a really nice aggressive grip, so you can really rip them out or grab them out of your waistband real easy, or out of your chest, out of your plate carrier. But also that they are 32 rounds, because I'm one of these guys that like to download my magazines because I don't want to overpressure the springs, because I keep a lot of magazines loaded and I try to rotate them in and out, but I typically leave them a couple rounds short of being full. And with the 32 round capacity, that allows me to put 30, an even number, 30 into my mags and just let it ride. Now I ran the majority of my rounds through this gun with the Daniel Defense mag, and I had zero issues out of it. And I expect that in the future. I haven't heard any problems with them. For the sling choice, I've got the Vikings Tactical Sling. Now, in terms of flashlights, I've got the Streamlight TLR VIR2. It's got a visible LED, an IR illuminator, and laser. The IR is for night vision. You can only see it. You can't see it with the naked eye. You've got to have night vision on. And then for optics, I've got the Aimpoint H2. This is just a solid optic. It's something that I really trust, and it makes running the rifle really fast at medium to close distances very easy. All in all, this is a really great setup. And if you're in the market for a new AR-15 and you want to get quality, I highly recommend Daniel Defense. If you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and take a second. Hit that like and subscribe button. Support the channel. And as always, thank you all, and God bless.